Hey guys, I'm Josh.
And I'm Billy.
And it's me, Ashley.
And welcome to the Geek. Today we're talking Big Brother season finale.
That's right, everybody. Season finale. We're down to 3, right? Who we got left, Josh?
Are.
Who we got
so
left?
Final 3 was Azza,
Yep.
Big D, and Xavier.
What do you think about that, Ashley?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
No, yeah, no, sure. No, we don't play that game. We don't play
Look,
that game
I wanted
on the
Tiffany.
Geek. On the Geek, you got to tell us how you feel
I
about
wanted Tiffany, obviously, so let's go Xavier.
it. Yeah, Tiffany, you got the boot, girl. You're
Well,
outta here.
this episode starts off, they're having some bubbly, and it's the reminiscence episode where they talk about the entire season. A waste of an episode, but whatever.
Yeah, it totally was.
Sometimes there's some entertaining things.
Like what? What did you find entertaining?
I can't remember.
Because it was so entertaining.
Jeez. I mean, what are you doing here?
the scary, when they scared each other, that was kind of funny.
Well,
they kept scaring out.
everyone
Like Brittany-
seems to be big on
Like-
Lucius. What do we think
Yeah,
about
that
There
was
you
funny.
go,
Lucius was funny,
That's
man. That was
it.
cool.
There you go. That's what I meant
Like
to
I thought
say.
Xavier did a good job with that. That was pretty cool how he was strutting his stuff. You know, it was a big
It's
old.
nice to see him cut loose a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. That's the
yeah.
only time you see him cut loose,
But
right?
he
So-
Yeah,
was
'cause
very
he's-
flirtatious with Tiffany, and I think that made Aja a little mad.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
And she's like,
He walks up,
I set this up for you, and you're going to get all flirty and not with me.
You got to pick. He's like, what you got for Lucius, baby? What's going on?
It's
Flirt
good
with
to
the wrong
see
person.
him cut loose because he's kind of been focused and a little uptight. I mean, not too uptight, but you rarely
Well,
see
he's
this side.
always got his game face on,
Yep.
man. Dude's always ready for the game.
Everybody want to taste the Lucius, but I don't know if you can handle that. All right, little sweet mama? What your name is with the sunglasses on?
Oh, me? I'm Silk.
Silk, like that scarf you wearing on top of your head there with your
course.
beautiful braids.
There was also a discussion between Ligers and Zonkies. What do you guys think of that?
Christian, Christian, man. Now Ligers. Now I have seen pictures of Ligers. I know they exist. I've seen them. Yeah, but the Zonkies, I'd never heard of that crap before, man. But then evidently it was
Did you
real.
Google it?
I did not Google it.
I did.
And
I
they're
need
real,
to
aren't they?
really get his take on
I mean, they're
leprechauns, though.
extremely rare.
But they do exist.
But they do exist.
Wow. Yeah. See.
Zonkies are real.
I feel like that can't be real.
You guys,
You're
dude,
messing
are
with me.
zonkies real?
I've never seen one,
They do exist. They're just like a liger, a tiger, and a lion.
and I'm walking out on that one.
Yo, you guys sound real dumb to America right now. I'm the only one that knows my animals.
I knew Ligers existed. I'd seen them. Never heard about Zonkies.
You think Christian sees like a rainbow and he wonders about the pot of gold at the
Probably
end?
so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I wish, man. I wish. Don't you? Wouldn't it be great to be able to go drive to that pot of gold and friggin' your gold, man?
We also get a little surprised by Azza. She cuts loose a little bit. Unintentionally with the little fart.
Oh yeah, man. She rips one. she rips one. Yeah, she rips one in the dining room, and then she admits to it. She owns up. She goes,
Yeah,
you guys heard
I
that?
did like that.
Yeah.
Well, she questioned, like, did I just fart? Did you hear that? I'm like, yeah, the world heard it. The world heard it.
Well, they didn't have to air it.
I do feel that. Sorry. I just farted. Did you hear that? My bad.
But they did.
Well, she aired it. She aired that one out for
Oh,
everybody.
boy.
Now, we also, they get a video from home, and we learn Big D is a big mama's boy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Hi, Derek, it's me, your mom. I love you. I miss you.
I mean,
That
he was
surprised.
Did
that surprise anyone?
Right,
But
that's totally
yeah.
not surprising at all. But yeah.
Oh, but the tears. The
Where's
tears.
Joe Frazier,
Well,
though?
his dad died in 2011, man. So dude's been gone
No
for a while,
pictures,
right?
no
So-
nothing?
Yeah.
Keeping it a secret still at this point.
Yeah, he was.
And I thought that was known, so
See, I thought it was known too until you start figuring out it's not. Like they're all trying to let loose who they really are and all this, and then he's like, "Oh, and I got a secret to tell, guys. I'm the last kid of Joe Frazier." And everybody's like, "What?"
well, I thought he had that Frazier tattoo and stuff.
He
like, So I
did.
thought it'd
Remember-
be
He
pretty
had to
obvious.
explain
Yeah.
that away in some other.
Yeah, what'd he say
Right.
to that? I wonder.
Yeah.
Like, how do you explain that away? I just like
must
the
have-
Like he
missed
said,
that.
Alyssa kept trying to call him out on it, right? Like Alyssa kept looking at it, like, "What's up with that?" And he was like, "Oh, it's nothing," trying to hide it from her, you know. But well, it's the same thing though. Even if he had a Frazier tattoo, what does that mean? I mean,
My brother, my dad,
Yeah, I mean,
like,
there's plenty
my
of people out there with the
dog.
last name Frazier. I'm sure. Right? Didn't mean he's actually Joe
He was
Frazier's
a big
kid.
fan of the show, Frasier.
There you go. Yeah, Frazier fan. Yeah, I could totally see Big D being a Frazier fan.
I mean, I think so. I think it could happen.
Now they also start
Not me.
talking about their gameplay, and Azza starts bragging about her under the radar play. What do you guys think about her
so
under
that
the radar play?
irritated me because you know how I feel about Aja. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to like her, but
I was keeping a low profile and building genuine personal relationships.
Yeah, the under the radar, like as if she played the way she played on purpose.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Well, even Big D, man, with his nonsense, man. Like,
he really believes it.
Oh, he believes
Yeah.
Big D, like 100% buys into Big D and his nonsense, and he thinks he's right, and he thinks, yeah, man, I played this game great. It's like, dude, you got hung on in this game because you suck. And the powers that be, in the game thought, yeah, we'll bring this crappy guy along with us because there's no way in hell we're
At
gonna
least
lose this
Asa
one.
can say she won something at
Twice.
some point.
Yeah.
Two. She won two
However, she did say that in her bragging of being under the radar, she's like, and when it came to that HOH that I did win, I knew I had to step it up, and that's when it was time for me to win. I'm like, you got lucky.
Yeah,
I'm wondering
right,
if Big
exactly.
Brother said like try and sell yourself or something.
Oh, I'm sure
like
they
that.
did, dude. Like, well, I mean, and that's the thing I've realized in this watching this show too. I can totally tell a lot of that diary room stuff is scripted, man. Like they're
Well, it is. They're asked questions or
they're
to
told
speak
what
on
to say.
certain
Yeah,
topics.
so a lot of the stuff. I mean, it's funny they claim this is a reality show and it's all just freaking everybody just open to say what they want, but that's garbage, man. People they're scripted. They're told to say certain
to a certain
things.
extent.
You
Yeah.
can
Can we
totally
talk
tell.
about the other thing that was revealed in the diary room
No.
segment?
Yeah. What's it?
Okay. Was the ants.
We have literally ants all over the couch
I was wondering if we could get some ant spray.
and all over the front walls and stuff.
Now,
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
You don't know because this is your first season, but every single season there's a problem with ants.
Playing about the ants.
I'm like, does
That
Big
doesn't
Brother
surprise me.
release the ants? I mean, or is there not one person that can keep this house clean enough?
Well, those little sugar ants, man, those things getting anywhere, man. It's hard to keep them things out.
I didn't
so-
realize Big Brother was like a genie. You could just like make wishes.
Yeah,
and
right.
give you whatever you want.
Oh, well,
I like some catfish.
What about Xavier, man, with his bread? He's like, hey, I just want some bread.
Bread.
A lot of bread.
All the breads.
Give me all the yeast you got. I just want it all.
Like all the bread you
Bring it
can.
in.
I'm like,
Right.
what?
When you think you have enough bread, bring more.
Right, yeah.
So can I request some bread, like hella bread, as much bread as they can bring?
I respect that.
What's Xavier's bread fetish, man? What's up with that, And then now I can really
Man
see.
loves some
but I
carbs
tell you
or
what, though,
something.
man. I tell you what, though, now I can really see why he was mad at Kylan over sniffing up the.
He's like, man, you're ruining my bread.
Sniffing up the tortillas and the bread
That's
and
my
everything.
main
Yeah,
source
yeah.
of food right there.
Right. Get the heck off my bread, Kylan. Yeah, man.
So they eventually get to the competition. It's the BB bouncy boat. What'd you guys think of that? It didn't seem to play into Derek F's strengths. Being
We're calling him
a big
Derek.
guy.
Is there, let me ask you a question on
Vary it
that.
up.
Is there anything that played into He didn't have any strengths, right?
No.
Derek has no
I
strengths.
mean, honestly, I guess it could have been the editing and all that stuff, but he kind of held on a lot longer than I thought he would.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I'll give him that.
That boat didn't seem to be moving all that
Nah,
extreme.
man,
I was
yeah.
kind of like, it looks like
No,
you could just
Xavier
like
was
lay
sitting
down and
up.
go to sleep
man,
on
that
this
was
thing.
like-
Well,
that was
Xavier
like-
was sitting up for a lot of
That was
it.
like a kiddie land ride in freaking like amusement park, right? I was like, when the hell is this thing gonna start bucking, man?
I mean,
Make
that
this thing a
was
Bronco.
That was actually made for Aja because
You
she's
would
got
think so,
longer
yeah.
limbs.
You would have thought, yeah.
Yeah, she's got longer limbs. She's light. I mean, I don't know.
But where Aja screwed up is she extended herself too early on. Like she's laid out and stretched out on this thing way too early on before the water spraying and all that. She should have taken it easy at first, through the easy part of it.
Do you want to be like a coach for
And then-
like the competitions?
Hey, yes, I do. Big brother, call me. I'm gonna be the Big Brother
I
coach.
thought she just got
Yes.
complacent and then made like a fatal error.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where you just kind of you're like, oh, I'm just going to reposition just oh, no, that was too much.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
then
happened.
X, like we expect him to win this, and he wins
He
the
does,
first
man.
one. So
Yep.
you're kind of like, wow, okay.
Dude, X is just dominant, dude. I mean, especially now when seriously, look at this competition.
He's not holding back anymore.
No, hell no. I mean, look at this competition, man. You got freaking Ozza, the two worst people in the house, aside
Intentional, smart.
and
I mean, I wonder if he even at this point in time, while he's sitting there with the recap dinner, if he has any doubt in his mind.
no, that dude does not. There's no way on earth he thinks he's going to lose this.
He's
thing.
already cashing the $750,000
Oh, yeah.
check
Oh, yeah,
at this
absolutely.
point.
I think
Absolutely.
it is risky because normally the third set comes down to questions and answers, and I feel like that could be anyone's game.
Yeah.
Well, Ozza did do a good job keeping up with him for a while. I mean, she missed that one question and screwed it
Well,
up.
the
But
next
he got 'em all, man. That
competition,
dude nailed them all.
four of a kind, a battle between Big D and Ozza.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a slot machine reel that they have to line up the
They're
cast
running
members.
like mouse on a.
Well,
a
and
mouse wheel or
again,
something.
another one where you got to be somewhat athletic to get this one,
Yeah,
and
I
Big
was
D
kind of
does that.
surprised. I'm like, they're not trying to give Big D a chance, really.
No, dude, no, that dude had no chance whatsoever.
And he was on his knees, like
his
turning
knees,
that
he
thing.
was
I was like, what are you doing,
Yeah,
man?
dude, and like the skin was peeling off his knees. It was showing that. I was
And
like,
I
man,
will
dude,
say
look-
this, even though Big D couldn't win anything, He never just straight gave up. No matter how.
Well, and he mentioned that, right, in the diary room. He said the same thing.
How do you give up on these competitions?
Well, I mean, those are hard for somebody.
Only one person has not completed, and that was Tiffany.
Yeah, for that
because she
40
ran
minutes.
out of time.
Yeah, she went
but
40 minutes.
I don't think anyone just straight up quits in any of these
Well, I
competitions.
mean, no, but I'm saying when you're doing like those endurance type ones, you could fall early or something like that, or he could have realized like during this particular one with Aja. I mean, obviously his life's on the line at this point.
I will tell you, no, I think that's bullshit. I think he did give up. I think plenty of those endurance competitions, he was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna be the last one hanging on, so I'm just gonna give up. I think on the ship he gave up. I think there were plenty of times watching that dude where he gave up, where he could have had 10 more minutes in him, you know, giving it a little more push, and he just didn't do it because he knew he wasn't gonna last till the end, so he just gave up. You know,
well,
so
it's not a bad strategy. Like, why wear yourself out? I guess,
well, it's not, but at the same time, don't sit there and tell us you gave it your all.
Yeah,
when,
I don't buy
you
that
know,
either.
No, yeah, exactly.
I mean, these aren't the kind of competitions where it's like they just quit and they can't do it.
Yet again,
so.
you guys don't agree with me.
Well, these are easy competitions that last like people are beating him in 10 minutes.
Yeah, he sucks at competitions.
And
I don't know what to tell
20
you.
minutes to beat this thing. So, like almost double the time Ozza had.
Yeah.
And then Ozza's doing
But he
mountain
didn't
climbers.
quit.
This dude's like crawling on his knees.
He didn't
Right,
quit.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
You try being
It
that
wasn't
big.
that competitive. Oh, I knew I could beat him on that for sure. You know,
I said you try being that big and doing that.
I wouldn't let myself get that big. Number one. Number two, if I was that big, I think I'd still do better than Big D did. You know,
we couldn't do worse apparently on this entire
Billy,
thing.
you have a really bad back. You would have fallen on. You couldn't have handled it.
I still handled it.
Here's his strength. I think his social game is really good.
It is.
And people, I think, generally like him,
Yeah,
and he's a fun guy.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
is.
his strength.
That is absolutely his strength. Like people gravitate toward him because he's a general, like, overall cool dude to talk to. You know, he's a very laid back guy, and he just BS's about whatever. You know, and people like that.
I mean, you can rub him the wrong way, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. So
but generally, I think he's a fun guy, and people like hanging out with him.
Yeah, for the most part, I agree.
Yeah, so Ozza and Big D discuss who they're going to take to the final. They argue it out while X goes to sleep. And this is kind of like an error in Big D because, like, Ozza's like, I'm taking you. And then he's like, well, I'm taking X. And then Ozza's like, well, geez, well, why the heck would I take you?
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you want to sit next to, Big D?
I'm going to stick to my deal, which is going to be Xavier. I can't win against you.
Yeah.
What is he thinking in this?
What do you think, Ashley?
Well, I think he failed to like realize where he was at that point. Like this isn't
You're in the
like,
final three. You might as well
I
hedge
think
your
he-
bets.
Exactly. Right. Like I mean, you don't. I know he was always trying to play like an honest game with Aja for the most part, but he'd already revealed that his loyalty was with the boys.
Right.
You know, even though he did end up keeping her.
But they do
At
such
this
job
point
of
in time, you
deceiving
just-
people.
Yeah,
And
but
then
he
he's
was
like,
the same
nah.
way last week when he was like on the fence of whether he was going to keep Aja or Kylan.
He
and
pulled
it's
a Kylan this week. He pulled his own Kylan.
Yeah, no, and well, I'll tell you, Big D wasn't going to win when he had a choice anyway, so it really didn't matter.
No, it mattered because
But-
if Ozza would have won,
Right,
she
well,
was going to
that's
take
true.
Xavier.
That's true, but at the same time, it would have been stupid for either one of them to take X because they're both going to lose it against X because dude's won so many freaking competitions is ridiculous. Like
It's not about the money, though, Billy, to some of these people.
Right. That's true. I guess
That's
not.
what they say.
That's what they say. But either one of those two, had they won, they'd be a moron for taking X.
I really think
Right?
Ozza would have took X.
She would have. She said she would, and I think she would have, especially after Big D did it
Only
wrong.
because of the conversation she
had
had
Big
with
D.
him.
I
And I'm
agree.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
He wasn't selling himself.
If you win,
He didn't even try.
you go.
No.
If she wins, she would have taken you. Now
Yep.
it's just like
All he had to say, just like Kylan, he said, "Well, you know, girl, I got you. You know, it's you and me. You know, I know, I made a final two with X, but you
or
know,
be quiet at the very least.
yeah, exactly.
At the very least, he should have just kept his mouth shut, and I think she would have still.
Or he
took
could have
him.
hedged and, you know, girl, you've been my girl this whole time, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, he's just straight up says, no, I'm taking X.
No, he did.
He even says like, "I carried you, and
Oh,
you're
he told her,
welcome.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
here."
Right, he said it to her.
I
yeah,
was
exactly.
like, "Holy cow!"
Like, this woman won 2 events. You ain't won nothing. Like, how are you carrying her just because you're a nice guy? You
He
know?
said, "You're welcome."
know.
He's
Yeah, he
like,
said,
"You're
"You're
welcome.
welcome."
You're
Yeah, he
here,"
did.
but I still. He gives her a hug after that. I'm like, "Wow, what?"
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was crazy, man. Like, and honestly, I liked Big D a lot up until that point when he pulled that. Like, even last week it wasn't as bad, but this week when he was saying that stuff to her, and I'm just like, dude, she's won 2 events. You've won nothing. It's like you've got no right to talk to her this way at that point.
You're welcome, because you're here. So I did that to myself.
And that I lost respect for Big D when he started talking to her like that at this point.
She's been nothing but cool with him.
Exactly. I lost a lot of respect for him at that point.
I mean, I like Aja's social game. I mean, I just don't like. I don't like how she hasn't put forth.
But she put forth bigger effort than he did.
I just don't know what she's contributed. Honestly, I don't know what she contributed.
Well, that's why these two people are here, because they're weak, and that's why X took them.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So it's playing into X's game.
Neither of these two, maybe Big D because of his good social game and how fun he was to have around, but neither of these two would have been at this point if it hadn't been for the cookout.
So after this riff with Derek and Azza, it cuts to kind of like the jury discussion, and they're having a hard time choosing between Big D and Azza. I mean, they're not talking about X because I think they make it seem like, well, if X is there, we'll probably choose him.
Right,
but they're like, well, what if it's Azza and Derek? Who would we choose in that circumstance? And they're going back and forth.
Right, and they mentioned that Azza's won a couple competitions, Big D's won nothing, but Big D's had a great social game. Yeah, so the stuff
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, the stuff we've been talking about, same thing they talked about in that room together, right? So, but I mean, at the end of the day, they all knew that wasn't going to be the case, right? I think they all knew that it's not coming down to that. It's going to come down to freaking Xavier and somebody else. And, which is exactly what happened.
Well, you don't know because, like, the third competition, house guest headliners, is a question and answer, and it could be anyone's game. And it's between X and Azza.
Right. And then Azza, unfortunately, gets one wrong. And X,
the first one.
Right.
The first one she gets wrong, and X doesn't get a single one question wrong. But Azza, that's the only one she got wrong was the first one. So it's like, what, 6 to 7 or something like that?
They did ask X after, how he felt about that competition, and he said the one question that he really wavered on was question number one as well. So
I tell you what, though, man, that dude,
he just wavered correctly.
Well, but I tell you what about X, though, man. Whenever it was showing him and Azza, that dude was pulling his card as soon as he knew. Right, he was ready, man. That dude was like, "Oh, it's B." And before they even said C, he's like, "Nope, I already know it's B." I mean, that dude knew exactly what it was before they ever finished, answering all the questions.
He was solid.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. That dude, I mean,
he's pretty focused.
Yeah, He did his homework, man. He deserved to win that competition.
I'd like to know what kind of attorney he is.
So,
yeah.
I'd like to know what kind of attorney he is.
I don't know. Yeah. Probably nothing right now.
Right.
Thinking about retiring. Right. So, and then X, of course, wins, and he chooses Derek instead of Azza. What did you think about that decision?
It's official, Azza. You are the last person to be evicted from the Big Brother house.
Honestly, it didn't matter at that point. At that point, he's got it in the bag. It doesn't matter who he chooses. Now, I do feel for Azza, and that. I mean, okay, kudos to X for sticking to his, playing with Big D, saying, dude, I promise you, I bring you, I'm bringing you. But at the same time, Azza contributed more than Big D did. She really did, and she deserved to be there more than Big D did. So I think
I'd probably rather seen Azza at the end.
I would absolutely see because Azza deserved that $75,000 way more than Big D did.
Yeah, probably.
I think she deserved it way more than Big D did. And you're crazy, man.
I agree with you. Yeah. I would rather see him just because I was like you disappointed in the way Derek acted toward her.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous
when it was unnecessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was not only was it unnecessary, it was stupid for his game,
and it was just completely disrespectful. He's completely
disrespectful. I agree with that
part. Yeah, I mean he was completely disrespectful.
I agree with that part. I mean, again, I think it was only winning for him or fitting for him, should I say, to take Big D because it didn't matter. I think he knew no matter who he sat against, he was going to win.
Right.
So he had already promised Big D from the beginning. So that's something he can put in his argument. Like, hey, from day one, I had a final 2 with this guy. And here I had the choice to, not take him. And I did.
Fair enough. He could. But then at the same time, when he talked to both of them, right, Azza flat out told X, hey, I'm taking you. If I win, I'm taking you. Big D's like, hey, we're still good. I'm taking you. At that point, Xavier should have said, you know what, man, honestly, who's really done more work in this game, Big D or Azza? And the answer is Azza. And he should have taken her at that point. He should have said, you know what, I'm taking her because no matter what, he's gonna win. Nobody's gonna vote for Azza over him. Nobody's voting for DVD over him. The dude's gonna win. Period. And it obviously comes out that way, right? But so I really think he should have chosen Azza. I really do.
So they have everyone cast their vote, and the winner is.
Well, before that though. They had them talk about it.
Hold, please.
Yeah. No, before,
I think we all know where we're going here.
Right. Before that, Julie's asking them questions, right? About hey, and of course everybody.
It doesn't really matter here.
Wait, can we talk about Aja's face though?
Oh yeah, she was not happy.
Aja looked pissed.
Oh, she was pissed
off.
Yeah, I mean Derek, I think went to go hug her, and she seemed like
she's mad, dude.
Didn't want to do it, but she just kind of let it happen.
Definitely mad, and then she came out to see Julie and. she still had the mad face on. And then, like, a couple questions in, she started to smile and say, you know, started to be a little more friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And she was asked who she would have taken had she won. And she did say X, even though X just booted her.
Mm-hmm.
She said she would have taken X. But then she goes and sits with the jury, and she's not, like, coming out and going, hey, guys, she comes out, and she's just
she ain't happy.
angry.
No doubt. I don't blame her.
She has angry face. She says what she's supposed to say. Like, when on camera, she's like, congratulations, guys, blah, 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 whatever. But her body language and her face is just
I don't blame her at all. She's sitting there thinking, you know what? I won 2 HOA tournaments. Big D didn't win a damn thing, and I'm getting sent.
Like Homeowners Association?
Had HOH competitions. And Big D didn't win anything, and here I am being the one sent home. Yeah, no,
but that's the game, man. That's the game.
She's had like a range of. I mean, a lot happened on this one night for them. So I mean, maybe she's still processing. I don't know, but anyways, it comes down to Derek and Xavier.
It goes back to that.
And, and Julie's asking everybody questions. They're all talking about it, right? And then one is funny because you're thinking if anybody is not going to vote for X, it's going to be Kylan, right? You're like, okay, I can see Kylan not voting for X just because how, everything got tense between them, how he got pissed off that X lied to him.
Yeah, I didn't buy that.
And didn't take him. But then guess what? Freaking unanimous, right? X wins unanimously.
Unanimously, not a single vote for Derek F. But even though he did have like a good final speech, I thought he spun that pretty good for himself as much as he could, I guess.
Yeah.
So
no, he spent a social game, So
and I liked that they were respectful with their speeches and their pitch, that they sold themselves rather than putting down the person next to them.
Yeah, no,
like neither one of them talked bad about each other. It was all about why I should win, not why this person shouldn't.
Yeah, no, that was
so
good.
I liked that.
And no matter what, they both brought it out there that it's a historical moment, right? No matter what, there's a black person that's going to win, and and so. And
hold on. Even before all the votes came in through, when he sent Aja out, Big D made the comment. He's like, "That's it. Just give me second place. I don't even care." Like he knew.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
well, that's what I thought would have been kind of cool too, to have a black man and woman up there in the final two. That would have been cool too. But I don't even think Xavier was thinking.
Yeah,
but
now, Aja's the one who screwed that up earlier on because she didn't fight to keep Tiffany.
Right. But what I will say is the point Kylan had that, like, look, the first black person that I want to win this needs to be a competitor. And Xavier was by far probably the best competitor in this game. When it came, at the end.
It was either him or Kylan at this point.
Exactly.
Kylan was gone, so
exactly.
And that's why Kylan voted for him, because Kylan does have that ego
and that's why
does
X
have that
saw that Kylan being a threat. It's like I gotta get rid of this guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now had Derek X still been around, he's a great competitor too. So who knows how that would have went, But he's not, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, Xavier was the best competitor, and he won, and I was happy for him. I was like, that's good, man. I wanted to see him win at that point because the other two definitely did not deserve $750,000 for doing nothing in that house.
Congratulations, Xavier. You are the winner of Big Brother.
Then they get to America's favorite.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I voted Derek X. Who'd you guys vote for? Like, I went online and freaking did my little thing. You do. I know you did vote. You did vote for me. Not you.
I didn't vote, so.
Right.
But
Tippy toes.
I would have probably voted maybe for Derek X.
Yeah.
Tippy toes.
Now, what was cool is Julie was like, hey, it was a very close race between Derek X and Tiffany, and then Tiffany won, So
I'm kind of surprised by that, but.
Yeah.
Cool,
Tiffany, I was really hoping that she would come away with that because, again, kudos to the way the season played out, to the cookout, to the historic season, everything. And it wouldn't have happened without Tiffany's plan.
That's true. Even though, but what about Derek? Derek F taking credit for the whole thing.
He did take the credit.
He's like, I put together.
Well, he might not be wrong. Like the first organization of the cookout, not the master plan, but
that's
the
true.
Cookout.
He may have been.
I mean, I don't recall.
I think he came up with a name, maybe. But yeah, but he was like, yeah, it was
but
a
yeah,
idea.
He did try and take over. And I think Tiffany and those were kind of
like, she had that look on her face.
What?
But Tiffany came up with the plan, and
the master
and if
plan.
It wasn't for that plan,
that plan was perfect. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know that they would have made it. So I'm glad that she won.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing her back.
Yeah.
Playing individually.
Right, exactly.
Playing individually.
No doubt,
I don't want to see a 6-strong team again like this
no.
ever in Big Brother. So.
Right.
So she would have a hard time, I think, on another season too, though, because she was such a good strategy.
She was, man. Her strategy was rock
People
solid.
would probably go, we got to get rid of her because I saw what happened on her show.
She'll come up with another one. We got to get rid of her.
I'd like to see Derek X back. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see Kylan and Xavier back, probably.
Well, and they also reveal all the secrets about Derek F, Xavier's job, and all that kind of stuff, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, so it was funny because like when Derek F came out, he's like, "I'm actually the son of Joe Frazier." Everybody was freaking out, right? And then,
especially Xavier.
Right. Well, yeah, and then but then Julie was like, "Xavier, would you still have brought him on?" Was Xavier gonna say no? Of course he'd say yeah. But he sucked. Yeah, I'm still gonna bring him around.
But then
right?
Derek did say that he doesn't come for money. Like he doesn't have money.
He said, I think I don't remember his exact phrase, but like the hood or something. I'm like, dude, come on.
Right. Yeah. And when it was flashing, showing his family home, it was a pretty nice looking house. So
yeah, I'm like,
it's like, come on, man, get out of here.
being the son of a heavyweight champion,
like,
come on, man.
Money. Right, yeah. Joe Frazier had money.
He must have been bad with money if you grew up in that environment.
Well, people with money tend to be bad with money sometimes.
That house that he kept showing his family in ain't in the hood. I ain't seen no freaking hood house that freaking has that.
I don't know if that was part of his like game or what. Or
who knows?
I don't know, but I was kind of surprised by that. But they revealed like one more secret that I thought was kind of surprising.
They revealed.
Brittany announced to everybody. I didn't realize that she had kept that a secret from the house. I mean, it seems kind of obvious.
I don't think that really matters.
No, it didn't matter.
But
not a big. I mean, the autism thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, I was thinking the black belt thing.
No, the autism thing.
Yeah, even the autism thing. It's like you're not that far on the spectrum because you're
clearly very very high functional.
Right, exactly. So
otherwise, but I mean, I get it though.
Sometimes that can be like
I mean, it's still a disability, no matter how you look at it. She was proud of herself, and she should be.
I'd like to consider it
proud of herself being there.
As someone who has a daughter. Anyway.
However you look at it, a disability, an ability.
However, it can be a disadvantage.
I don't really like referring that as disability either. But
right.
Unless
it can be a disadvantage with your social game,
right.
Because it does come with some kind of anxiety with social
interactions. Didn't they have that one guy that was, he had something going on too, and he did very well. Yeah, so I'm like.
Well, guess what? But she called it a disability on the show.
She did. She did. I was like, oh, our daughter wouldn't like that.
No. But your daughter, I tell you what, man, your daughter can cook her butt off. That girl can freaking, she can
bake.
Oh my gosh, holy cow! Those brownies are the best brownies on the planet. Yes, Skyly, go make us some brownies.
So, is there anything else you guys want to get out before we wrap this thing up?
Nah, man.
Big Brother season 23.
I will say I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. But
it's your first time.
But it's my first time. But guess what's cool though, right? What did Julie say?
Celebrity
in February. That I'm looking forward to. I'm totally looking forward to that.
Who do you want? Let's talk about it real quick. Who do you want? Vanilla Ice?
Yes.
MC Hammer?
Yeah, man.
I need Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer on this thing.
There you go. I'm down with that.
Let's get some Carlton.
Oh yeah, dude, you gotta have Carlton in there. Yeah, man, get some Tom Green back in there.
Are you stuck in the 90s?
I am stuck in the 90s for show.
Absolutely, that's when all the best shows.
Who else?
You want to name anybody?
Did I do that?
Yeah, I was thinking Urkel. And we're from Full House.
You ain't gonna get the A-listers, so you might as well go for people like this.
Yeah, exactly. Get the Olsen twins in there or something. There you go.
You gotta get somebody from Broadway.
They got too much money.
You have to get both the Olsen twins, right?
They got too much.
Get that drama going on in the house. That'd be cool. Or maybe even the little sister, right? Because she's done better than both of them as far as like movies and stuff like that goes.
I know the other one's got clothing line.
They built their empire before they were even adults.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's why they don't do anything as adults. Like, they don't need to.
No, they don't.
No.
Good for them.
Anything else?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Tiffany, you can come back.
Tiffany, you know what, Tiffany? I didn't like you very much a lot of time. You can totally come back, right? I'd like to see Tiffany back. I'd like to see Derek X.
Kylan made a plea for himself. So.
He did, yeah. I'd like to see Kylan back, man.
I'd like to see him too.
Yeah. I'd like to see him sniffing some more burritos, man. You know
I think they'll bring Kylan back. I think they'll bring Kylan, Tiffany, and Derek X back.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Derek X. I think those are going to be ones that people will request.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
All right, America. Well, that is our big finale for Big Brother. Thank God, because I'm totally glad this season's over with. We've been talking about Big Brother for months now. And it's been fun.
Three episodes a week is a lot.
It's a lot. There's a lot of episodes to watch a week, try to keep up with. But it was fun, especially my first foray. Yep, that's the word I'm using. Into Big Brother. It was cool. I'm definitely looking forward to Celebrity Big Brother. But hey, man, until that comes around, stick around for our Survivor episodes. We're doing those now. So we will check you guys at those. So y'all take care.
Wait. Hit like and subscribe.
Oh, yes. Make sure you do that, too.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Later, guys.
Bye.
All right, come on.
And
shut the door. Turn off the fan.
Everybody really liked it. The fan's still on.
I told you to turn that off.
Ashley, turn the fan off, man.
But I'm in the middle now. I can't do it.
I told you to turn that off.
The fan's still on. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I can't.
I'm incompetent.
Look, I took notes, but
I took notes, but I took better notes. You didn't take notes
I
on
took
Big Brother.
no notes.
oh no, not on Big. We're doing the AM.
Yeah,
You know it's good
I
if
can't
it's
leave that.
Fugazi.
Yeah.
Hello, I can't get in here without knocking a light over.
What is that?
That doesn't have caffeine in it.
Yeah,
It
what,
does.
What is that?
No, it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure it does.
It doesn't.
Well, either way, I don't want to drink a soda because it's going to dehydrate me. I got to be up all night.
What is that?
It's hydrating.
Caffeine.
I just had a pre-workout.
I just had a pre-workout.
I can't have two pre-workouts.
Hey, look at all this space Billy has. Tell him to scooch.
All
Hey
right,
guys,
everybody.
what's going on? This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It was funny. Why is it you can be funny, but we can't be funny?
Because you guys aren't funny.
If it's not him doing it, then it's not funny.
That's right. Cool.
Wait, we're the old people
you
and you're
allow.
the stallion?
Yeah, obviously.
Well, he is the youngest. He is the kid in the group.
Okay,
so.
we're 3 months apart, people.
That's right.
3 months apart.
I decide what goes in the final
Yeah, and I got to work.
No, I gotta leave at 10.
Well, you better
Oh, we
quit
got
clowning.
Let's go. Quit clowning.
Hey guys, I'm Josh.
Yes, he is. He's Josh, everybody. You like Josh? All right, let's go. Let's do it. We're ready. We're ready.
Hey guys, welcome to. Are you gonna stop talking?
Get it.
That had nothing to do with me. She's like talking in the middle of me introing. Like, I guess I'll just wait. I will wait 5 more minutes. I'm gonna have to get a new drink pretty soon.
Yeah, you are.
I have to get a new drink pretty soon.
I can't.
BAC going up.
I can't. Oh my god.
See, everybody, this is why you need friends, right? You hang out and have fun like this, and it's all good times.
Oh, I could be sleeping. Okay.